and decide to sneak out. And all these parents, by the way, including me, like I'm a parent, right? And I let 4 girls stay the night last night, which was like back when I was a kid. That was like having a party. You like would only do that once a year. You never did. You were allowed to have 4 people stay the night at your house.
Yeah, all the time.
Oh
dude.
God, not in mine.
I had friends.
I did too, and no 4 friends.
I always got my friends' asses all the time. I think your kid is weird because she doesn't hang out with her friends as much as I hung out with my friends.
I mean, she's always with her friends, though.
Okay, I mean it is new. She has hit the point, but I think I was waiting for it. For more, but I definitely had a crew of 4 or 5 guys that we just always would meet. And we would kick soccer balls and play curveball until we thought of some stupid scheme, and then we would go try to make something of it.
Yeah, I remember getting up and then walking to a friend's house and getting them, but they don't have to do all that anymore either. They just text all day.
Yeah, but that's a fake
they're
interaction.
together.
It's a fake interaction.
But they feel like they're together.
They don't though. They're like your brain, like when you're actually around people and you see their faces and you smell them and you can like body language and all that stuff, your brain feels like it's actually socializing and you're filling up like that tank. When your socialization is just pushing buttons on the screen, that's registered as like work in your brain. That's registered as using your phone in your brain. That's not registered as like the warmth and love that you feel from like actually hanging out and like we're having relationships with people.
Or like, so what would you say about when she's doing her homework on my computer and she sets her phone up with FaceTime right here and just sits, but she sits and like,
that's the phone. That's
talks
the phone.
like, hey, buddy.
I will say that's the same thing I did. I would get off from school and would sit on the phone and talk to someone all night long.
Yeah, that's true. I did talk on the phone a lot. But yeah, I was up my friends' asses too, man. I would just like be up. I would head straight to their house or get on the phone and call them and tell them to meet me somewhere. And then I ain't going home today.
It was weird. We went to that Thursday concert and I saw Colossal Bandit. Sean was there.
Yeah.
And he was talking to a guy that went to school with me that knew a guy that every Saturday, it was like whenever we got up, like we would just be sitting outside, like waiting, you know,
for a thing.
Yeah. It's like we have a whole bunch of fireworks and we're going to go to the creek or whatever.
Our thing was like a lot. There was a period of time where our thing was to get up and all meet at one place at the food center, which was this sounds like 50s, like Little Rascals type stuff, but we would meet at this place called the food center, and then we would walk to the railroad tracks, and we would just walk on the railroad tracks until we, couldn't walk anymore, and then turn around and walk back.
Yeah.
And we would just be so bad on the tracks. We would like be all excited when a train was coming, and as soon as it got there, we'd start throwing rocks at the train, because the motherfuckers don't know you're throwing rocks at the train. They can't stop anyway. What are they gonna do?
Right.
But we spent all day away from home. My kid does not spend all day away from home. But my wife, well, yeah, she did. She actually said she did the same shit. Like, just get up, go to her friend's house, walk around all day with her friend, and probably watch boys do stupid things.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my...
Put a bunch of gasoline on the ground, light it on fire.
Yeah.
Cut up action figures with sledgehammers and axes and shit.
They just hate getting in trouble. My kid hates getting in trouble. Like, it's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
Which I think I think I liked getting in trouble. Like, it was fun. It was when all the action was going on.
What is her plan for? Does she have a plan for her future? Does she know that at all?
Like, when she gets out of school? I think she's just going to...
Is she in 9th grade yet?
She's in 8th.
Oh,
going into 9th.
She'll be in 9th grade.
I think her plan, 90% of her plan is just follow me and Katie around forever.
Oh, okay.
Like, we've talked, because me and
good.
Katie have talked, like, man, when, she graduates, we can move anywhere she wants. And she's like, ooh, I'd, like, go with you if you did that anywhere we want. She's like, I'm like, I could go make a go of it in LA. When she graduates, I could go there and maybe work on like trying to, make a living in show business. And she's like, oh, I'd go to LA with you. I'm like, yeah, God damn, kid, I'm trying to get rid of you. I'm waiting for 4 years so you're gone. No, I don't want her to be gone though. I can't imagine a life without seeing her every day, which I know is going to exist.
I was gonna
right?
say.
Yeah. Because I have the same feeling with my wife. Like, I can't picture a wife where I wouldn't see her every day, but that is actually something that could happen. You know, we stay together, we love each other, we love being around each other.
Right.
But yeah, that is a thing that in the back of my mind is like, so there's gonna come a day where I am not even gonna see her every week.
Yeah.
Especially if she follows my example of like, I see
Why
my
would
dad
she?
every 3 months.
I don't think our kids will follow our example.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know though. I'm starting to get a different feeling about like I'm starting to, because I'm watching one of them now go older. Like mine's the one that's the oldest, and I have a niece that's second. Like I have the two oldest are the ones I'm around the most, and they don't come to things anymore. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
my daughter doesn't come to like gatherings with us and all of our friends, which, I mean, I don't. She actually this week, I'm gonna say this. Brett's gonna like he's gonna tell everybody, and they're gonna get mad. But
Okay.
but so we were going over to a friend's house this week to play bingo, which my daughter said, "Ooh, sounds swaggy," which is like, "Fuck you," you know what I mean? But before we left, she was like, "Oh, I might go." She's like, I don't. You know what though? I'm gonna go, and then everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, I never see you anymore. You're getting so old," and then it's gonna feel. And I'm like, "God damn it!" Like she's just thinking of us now. I feel like she's just thinking of us as like I thought of like going to things with my parents at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter how fucking cool we all are, because
Right.
listen,
That's what sucks.
we're
too.
very cool, man. Like me and Brett, people want pay to listen to us talk. You know, Brett's wife is a fucking designer. Like it's not like we're dragging her to hang out with a bunch of fucking computer programmers and small business owners and deck builders. You know what I mean? We're fucking taking her to do cool shit. And she does have fun when we do it, but when she frames it like that, it starts to get you to think of all the times you framed it like that when you were a kid. I don't know if you did that personally, Brett, but that's how I was, man. You know, the best day of my fucking life was when Jason got his license and we could start leaving all the family and stuff events early. You know?
Right.
Jason, oh, we're leaving now. We would be the first ones out of that fucking house and gone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, she gets her license, she's going to do that.
I didn't have a lot of events to go to be honest.
Yeah.
gotta
Well,
do
your
whatever-
family's wild.
I got to do
fighting.
whatever I wanted.
Yeah, you got a fighting ass family.
Yeah. So yeah, I never really had any. I never had any like stable, like traditions for the holidays of any types, and yeah, no like regular no get-togethers or anything. So I was like just on my own.
We were just holidays.
I made money and just that was enough.
The hustler.
Yeah.
Brett's a hustler from way back. But yeah, I mean, she just sees it. I think she sees hanging out with us as hanging out with a bunch of adults. You know?
Yeah.
And
it's
when she
fine.
looks at what adults do, she's like really not impressed. She's been to bars. She goes to live shows with Brett and I heard her explaining to one of her friends one day, talking about, "Ooh, I think it's gonna be cool to like go to bars," and she was like, "They don't do anything at bars. They just go there and yell at each other. It's like there's nothing happening at a bar." And I'm like, she's right.
She got a little bit of insight, but once you do it,
What, she's 22 or
It's
something
the
like
best
that?
thing in the world.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
be able to get her out of the bar.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
how
Well,
fucking people are, man.
That's true.
When you turn 22 and you're just like, "Oh man, I'm allowed to go in any building I want."
Yeah.
It's crazy how the world must look to you before you're. I remember thinking like, shit, you know, when I was 6. Let's take for example like when I was 15, thinking this whole fucking world's closed off to me.
Yeah.
I can't do anything yet. I don't have any rights. I don't even fucking have a bank account. I don't have anything. Okay?
Right.
And then at 16, I can drive. I'm allowed. I have moved up into the realm of driver, which, by the way, I believe that is just at 16, so that like they can like run errands for their parents. Because most people who got their license was basically like, "Yeah, go get us dinner." You know,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
wouldn't let them drive around
Go
and just
pick
fuck
up your
around.
brother from
Yeah.
gymnastics.
Yeah. And then at 18, you can buy smokes and you can go to the dirty bookstore, which I did on my 18th birthday. I did
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
Bought a pack of
It's a
cigarettes
tradition.
and went to the dirty bookstore and then I went to a club called The Edge,
Okay.
and then I went home. And it was just like that night I felt like this tiny tinge of power.
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit, okay, so now I can drive. I got I got my own place. I got kicked out and I was living on somebody's couch, but that's close to having your own place. I had a house key.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not a responsibility.
Yeah. And I didn't have a car either. When I say I could drive, I mean I could drive, but I didn't get my license until I was 23. So
Late bloomer.
that's not a late bloomer. I can explain that. What you would have hated me when I was like at the between 16 and 23 when I didn't get my license.
Yeah.
That what you would have hated my guts.
Bumming rides a lot.
Oh my God, did I bum ride? Because I'd have a job.
Oh,
I'm working 7 days a week, and I'd work within driving distance of home, and I'd have to get there. And,
Yeah.
you know, you go, man, give you $2 gas money if you drive me to work, dude.
Oh man. Yeah, I know. I had friends like that.
Yeah, my parents wouldn't let me get my license.
He would like do the math on how much gas it would actually spend, and he would give it. It was like so nitpicky.
You had a car right away, though.
I did have a car.
That is like a privileged kid right there.
Yes. When I was 15 years old, I was working at Fazoli's, the fast Italian food place, and I got a tax return, $500. My dad's friend at the time had a car that he was trying to get rid of for $500, and that's what I got.
A $500 car is a car, though.
1986 Chevy Camaro.
Hell yes.
The V6 one, though.
Yeah. My buddy drove a 79 Nova, and he would just drive us around all the time in that shitty ass fucking car.
Yeah, I had a cherry bomb muffler on it.
He did
dad
too.
Let me put that on there, and it would
Your
like
dad.
backfire and shit, and it was like fireballs would shoot out the back of it. It was wild. It was so stupid. It was the dumbest car to give to a kid.
We should have definitely had each other's dads, I think.
What?
I think
No,
that
I want
I should have
mine. I
had
don't
your
want
dad,
your
and
dad. I don't
you
want your
should have
dad.
had my
Don't
dad.
give me your bad dad.
But I'm trying to say that
I like my bad dad.
you would have done way better with mine, and I would have done way better with
you're
yours.
right. I would have been like an insurance magnate or something like that.
I don't think that. I just think that
I would have ran like an Ohio, gigantic insurance company.
But then again, if we're talking like Brett Payne and Brian Quinby of now with switched parents, I would have been scared shitless of your dad. Like, I wouldn't have been a tough guy. I would have been like absolutely terrified of him, you know, because I was afraid of my dad, and anybody that knows my dad knows, like, don't be afraid of that guy.
Sure.
I got whooped his ass from the age of 12, you know. I was tougher than him by the time I was 12 years old. I don't know if you're tougher than your dad yet. I think you are.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
You could beat him up in a fight, is what I'm trying to say.
But if he got like one hand on me, I feel like he could close that one hand so tight that I would fucking give. I just can't get in his grasp. As long as I don't get in his grasp, because he would just squeeze until his hand fucking shut, right? Like, whatever that is. If it was holding onto my collarbone, a fucking rib bone, a spinal cord, whatever, it would just be over.
Yeah. It was like, ah! Like, I don't know what it would look like necessarily if I fought my dad, but I know that I could probably hold him down. You know?
Hold your dad down.
I could probably hold him down and be like, just fucking cool it, dude.
You hold your dad down. Stop it. Fucking stop it. Quit it. Yeah.
Dude, come on, man. I don't want to fight anymore. Like, I can do that.
Yeah,
I'm not a fighter though.
I've never been a fighter either.
I
was just talk my way out of it.
Yeah, I'm an instigator, and I like it when other people fight. But the only time
I break up fights, I've broken up a lot of fights.
You're good about that because I'll
just
watch
telling
it.
people to fucking stop, like just being the person that'll yell really loud. Stop! This is fucking stupid.
I'm very much like, oh, I can't believe he just said that to you. Like, I'm that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know. I don't like
Woo!
that.
Very disrespectful.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to do about it. I'm not here fucking, talking about violence, but this is sick shit.
Say that in front of your wife.
I mean, I saw recently I'm walking down the street, and on the other side of the street, there's these two guys, and this guy keeps saying, I'm gonna punch your motherfucking head off, as loud, just so loud, I heard him like blocks away.
Okay.
And then when I got to him, I stopped and just stared across the street. But I was so glad. I've never been more glad I was on the other side of the street than something in my entire life.
What happened?
They, you know, it was just, you know, when we were in California, and that guy was like, I guess, stealing something from a store, and then those security guards came out, and he was just like, I'm just trying to get something to eat. I'm just trying to get something to eat. And they were like half a second, 1/4 of a move away from a fight.
Right.
They
Just waiting for it's like just waiting for that igniter on the burner to go.
Yeah,
for
and
that flame to start.
And it never went. But there was this guy that really wanted to tase this other guy. Or, no, mace this other guy. That's what it was out on the street the other day. They were like right in front of each other. And they were screaming so loud you could hear them around. And they were just going fucking crazy. They didn't fight. So it ended up a happy ending.
Right.
You know?
Just blowing off steam.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's some people who, if they yell loud enough, they get the same feeling in their brain as the punch. And they just are like,
true.
okay, that's fine.
If you can scream, I hate you, right in someone's face.
Yeah. Words also hurt.
They do. Yeah. It can be really cut very deeply.
I mean, if you know a person well enough and you're yelling at them and you're mad and you want to hurt their feelings, that's almost worse than knocking them out a lot of times. Because then they'll go home and be thinking about it all night. Like, you're not going to, which is why, you know, I've always been carried more of a preference on, like, if you and your friend get into it, you know, either walk away. You know, usually with me, it was like, if it's somebody I like and I love to be around and I get into a fight with them, I'll walk away. I'll be like, I'm not going to do this. Let's not do this.
It's
you know,
yeah.
It's smart because generally, I mean, you know, in the past, I would have thought, oh, we all have to deal with this later, but you don't actually have to deal with things like that
sometimes
later.
you can just be like, yeah, I think that was stupid that we were doing that.
Because, I mean, listen, dude, if you're fighting with another person that you like, you can chalk it up to like 1,000 different things. Like, you're probably not either in a good, like, you're probably not either thinking straight. Neither one of the two people that are fighting are thinking straight. So then you just walk away and you come back later and you're like, hey, look, we're not fighting anymore. You know?
Absolutely.
But I think a lot of people think you have to sort out every little fucking thing. It's like that with people talk about that, like with marriages. Where they're like, don't go to bed mad. And it's like, sometimes you just go to fucking bed. You'll get up tomorrow and everything's going to be okay. You know? I watched this.
You want to put like a little addendum on the Instagram post that says like, sometimes you do go to bed mad.
I think all the times you go to bed mad. I'm going to go to bed mad tonight. I'm not going to say why I'm mad, but I'm going to go to bed mad tonight.
Yeah,
I'm going to be just okay. You know?
I've gone to bed mad recently too.
Yeah. You just go to bed mad.
Yeah.
And then you get up and you're like, all right, oh, that was over.
Erica
My day's over.
This one is fine. It's not like a resentment thing. She would think it's funny. Erica did the most Erica thing in the world today. And we went to family dinner, and they made a Mexican soup, tortilla soup or something, and they wanted us to get bread. And so we went to this market that has a Mexican bakery inside of it. And there was this roll that looked amazing, and it said it had queso and jalapenos in it.
Damn.
And I was like, that sounds amazing. I want one of those. And Erica is like, starts piling them up, and she's like, I'm gonna eat like a whole one of these. She's like, and I'm gonna eat these like tomorrow. And she starts getting like 5 of them, and this is like, I hate this. Whenever she gets like manic and stocks up on shit, it always falls through.
I know.
And
you just
I was just watching it happen.
I'm not gonna cut. Keep the story going, but you are so scarred by her doing that I just bought my daughter $40 worth of granola bars, and she was like, she's only gonna eat 2 of those and she ain't ever gonna eat them again.
Right.
And I'm like,
we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll
You
see.
have
Let
no
me
faith
know.
in anybody
Let me
anymore.
see if she eats it.
Your wife has shooken your faith in everybody. But
once you get it, it's like, I don't know if I want it.
yeah, there was gonna be 5, but So she's buying 5 loaves of bread.
And I'm like, first of all, I was like, well, because it's family. So I'm like, we have to get white bread. And she's like, ew, why would we get white bread? And I'm like, well, I mean, this place looks like this is fresh made white bread still.
That's good
like,
bread.
It's not like Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
And it's a white bread fucking motherfucking family get together.
Very white bread. I mean, I would, if you brought bread with jalapenos there, they would be fired up about, like, this shit is, I mean, if you, put it like this, if you brought bread and you sprinkled 2 little sprinkles of pepper on it, they'd be like, oh, this is spicy. Get out of here, man. They don't like seasoning. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say.
Right. So, then I'm like, we'll get the white bread. She's like, fine. If you know what to get, why aren't you doing it? And I'm like, she's holding the platter and everything. I'm like, God damn it. So we get the white bread. We get to there to do the soup. She dips the bun in the soup, takes a bite. It's cream cheese. She's like, I hate cream cheese. I'm not going to eat any of them.
Is that why you asked me if I like cream cheese?
It is why I asked you why you had cream cheese. Because I got to get rid of these rolls, man.
I'll check in. But it's got jalapeno. You fucked up by buying the jalapeno ones because my wife ain't going to eat a jalapeno cream cheese anything. It was too hot. Somebody else was like, I've been eating spicy foods recently.
No, they haven't. No, you haven't. You haven't eaten a whole jalapeno recently.
They got banana peppers on a pizza.
Right. Supreme pizza.
They got a supreme pizza. They put green peppers in spaghetti sauce.
Those green peppers got a kick to them. The red ones too, like woo.
Fucking man. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I was just like, man, that is pushing all my buttons right there. She was
wasting money.
Yeah.
Wasting food.
Right.
And fucking just second guessing you and yelling at you.
Yes.
You want to know what makes me nuts about is that my whole thing is that I don't ever think that I should be able to get mad because I have kind of an image around people that we know of being grumpy. Like everybody thinks I'm just this grumpy guy that you have to cater everything to, and that everything has to be done for Brian. Brian's fucking grumpy. Make sure Brian's into it. So I sort of have this thing in my mind now that when I do get mad about something, it's unwarranted because I'm just being grumpy old Brian.
Sure.
You know? Okay. So lately, every time my wife pisses me off and I get mad, I'll give her one little bit of shit and then she comes back and I'm like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been mad about that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to be mad, but sometimes I think you're allowed to actually be mad about stuff.
I mean... Erica and I are very good about leaving it on the field of battle, I'm going to say something searing hot about you. You've been ignoring it. I'm going to point something out about you that needs to be fucking fixed.
You have a way of, I think the one I totally remember, and this is because we were talking, I think me and you were on one of the road trips and we were talking about it. But you said something about how when you put something down, you come back later and it's not there and it's where it's supposed to be? That's not magic. That's me doing it all the time. Yeah. And I would have been so hot about that.
Yeah, that was mean.
Yeah, I would have been so fucking mad.
Evidence of that's a mean one.
That's a building a case thing. If I could give anybody, I'm a person in a 20-year relationship. Don't build a case. That's what got me out of fighting. That me and my wife don't lock horns at all anymore.
No,
because I don't build cases.
Long time.
Yeah, I'm not building a case.
You just got to get it out too. I mean, I still agree with the don't go to bed mad is right. I mean, you should say it, but I agree what you're saying is that I've also realized that I have these recursive thoughts that maybe I don't even need to say those. I need to just tamper those down and trash them,
Yeah, I think
I write them in a journal or something. I'm pissed that Erica didn't do this. When I talk to my therapist, that should stuff. Whenever I'm she should be doing this, she should be doing that. It's come on, no. She
Yeah.
can do whatever the fuck she wants. I need to take care of me because that's who I'm in charge of.
And she's another person.
Right.
Like what she should do is not up to you. I say
Right.
that about both Katie and Gwen. It's like, I don't know what's best for them. I don't
Sure.
know what experiences they've had or whatever. But I just don't like. I don't really. I mean, like I don't get too mad about stuff anymore. It's just like little. I'll give you an example. I have to pick my wife up every day from work, 5:30 or 5, sometime around 5. That anybody who has to pick somebody up from work knows that is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll text you.
Yeah.
Basically, is when it happens, and they will not give you updates or anything. It's either going to be 5 o'clock or 9:30. It's just
How it goes.
You need to be on call for that.
Needs no basis.
So I got to pick her up every day. And it's not because we don't have a car. She could take the car. I don't even need the fucking car, but it would cost us $80 a month to park. And y'all know me. I am cheap. $80. She was like, it'd be $80 a month and I'll get a parking spot. And I'm like, no, you won't. I'll get up every single day.
Really?
In the morning and drive you to work.
$80 isn't worth that sleep
No,
time?
nothing. No, there will never, mark my words, listeners, there will never be a time where I feel financially secure enough to take on an $80 a month bill. I can't imagine what the Patreon would have to get to before I was like, oh, yeah, sure.
Really?
$80,
$20
dude.
a week, dude. You're pissing that
You're-
away on some weird coffee.
Yeah, I know. I'm driving her to and from work, so
right,
we don't have to park.
gasoline, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not too much. It's only a mile. So anyway, I pick her up across the street. Without too much. I pick her up near an arena, okay?
Uh-huh.
And they have hockey games at this arena sometimes.
Right.
And I told her, I can't wait for you if there's a hockey game. There is
Right.
nowhere for me to park
Right,
my
right,
car
right.
and sit
It's madness.
if there's a hockey game. And she got mad at me for saying that she takes too long to get out of the work. And I'm like, all you have to do is text me when you are done and
Right.
walking down the stairs.
Right.
And everything would be okay. But, so I immediately was just like, well, I shouldn't be a dick to you right when you get off work. I know your job is stressful.
Yeah, that is shit. Right. You need some decompression time.
It's horrible, man. I don't
It's
think
tough.
you should be allowed to be mean to anybody, like within 2 hours after work.
Yeah, there's grace period.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
They
I'm
get
with you.
home, they're home for 2 hours, and then you're like, because I haven't had a real job in years.
Yeah, yeah.
But man, I know that when I worked even part-time at the camera store, it was like, don't even fucking talk to me until I got off at 4. Don't talk to me till 6. Like, don't even talk to Brian till 6. He's mad. What are you mad
You
about? Just mad.
Yeah.
Just at work, I'm mad.
Just have to
Mad as hell. Capitalism, I guess.
Stew in my anger for 2 hours.
You weren't like, were you like that when you worked for a living? Like a real job?
No, I don't remember that.
You weren't? You
I
didn't
remember
like,
just being like, yes, couch.
you were like
I was
Fred
ready to
Flintstone.
couch surfer.
You were like Fred Flintstone. You'd jump on the dinosaur and get all excited and go to the bar and get a drink or something like that.
Rush home and like read a book
Oof,
for like
not me.
8 hours straight.
I'd drive home cussing in the car about what happened at work. Would turn the radio up so loud. Drive home, get home. I would go to take a shower, and then about the time I got out of the shower and I was like changed into my regular clothes, you could start talking to me.
Uh-huh.
And I
That was my
wouldn't
dad.
like flip my fucking lid at you.
Right, right.
But like I just have such a I hate work. I
Yeah, you do.
really
We
fucking
believe
hate
you.
it.
We all believe you.
Yeah, and it made me mean. It
Yeah.
is. My wife loves me a lot, and she wants to spend her life with me. That's for sure. But she loves me so much that she was like, "You're just not a guy that like works a real job."
Sure, sure.
Bring in money.
You're
If you
broken.
can bring some money in, that's great.
Yeah.
But she would be gone if I still worked a real job. I
Yeah.
know for sure she would be.
Yeah.
Because I was just, holy shit, man. And if you're out there and you're like this, you just got to start like developing some sort of an exit plan. It's almost like, Brett talks a lot about there was a period in his life where you were doing eBay, right?
Yeah.
When you were just selling eBay. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I'm just selling fucking eBay, man. I don't know. I'm hustling to get to the next thing, but you know what? That's what I can do.
Right.
And like,
It was enough to make
Yeah.
a little bit.
I mean, if you can jump out, I just, nothing but success stories from that. I'm sure there are people that end up failing in the end, but I can tell you, me and Brett both quit our jobs, and after a number of years, it worked out. His wife quit a shitty job, and it worked out afterwards. My sister was way up in a company in management of a major company, and quit to become a chef. To which my dad said, "You're quitting your job to work in a restaurant."
Yeah.
It made it sound like working at like Wendy's or something.
Right.
And now she's making what she did, and she's respected, and it all came back. And it's like a lot of times you just, I mean, if it takes like working a warehouse job to keep paying your rent and just figuring your next thing out, like I can't recommend it more.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, and it makes if you're suffering, you have to suffer through something for even extended period of time. Having a plan of attack and a get out makes it so much easier to just be like, I'm the guy that does boxes. I do this for 18 more months, and then I can move to where I want to do something else.
I mean, generally, if you're like reasonably healthy person, that like you have all of your fat, like basically if you can do physical labor, right? Generally, every city has a place that will hire you for 20 hours a week, but pay you like $15 an hour to do some pretty intense shit. And then that is something that you can do to try to make something make sense in between. And like, because the thing I've learned a lot is that making things happen in your life is very hard to do when you work 40 hours a week, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like, you
it's
just
a huge blockade.
Yeah, and I think the best way to work on
I think most. I mean, that's why I figure. I mean, that's how I look at most of a lot of the childhood is like fucked up because of the pressure put on our parents that have to work like 2-3 jobs. Like people, that just to make ends meet. The crazy things you see your parents do, and how strenuous and it is. And
I mean, I know that like,
but now,
I have all these complaints, and this. I mean, like, I had a really hard relationship with my stepmother, and I get along with her well now, like really well. She also, like, at the time that, like, when I was growing up, she was working 40 hours a week and sometimes overtime in this like mid-level job at this company doing like clerical work and shit.
Right.
And like, she came home mad every single fucking day.
Yeah.
And she is like a completely different person now. Like, she's 100% flipped the other way, where like she's pleasant to be around. But back then it was like she was yelling all the time. And it's like, man, they just worked really hard. My dad just like worked really hard and was like, let's cut our budget and you can quit and you can do what you got to do. And I know that this isn't possible for everybody, but like developing an exit plan, if you're stuck in a career that feels like you're going to do this for the rest of your life and you can't do it anymore, it's like, take a shittier job and just work it out from there,
Yeah, and especially something that throws you into like horrible stressors. That's what I think is that we all have like the worst version of ourselves that we can go to cope with the most extreme circumstances. And the longer that stuff goes on, and more it burns you out to constantly be in like that completely wired, the only way I'm getting through this day is through blind fucking rage.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the cable company, what you're saying was the cable company for me. Blind fucking rage, 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
5 days a week.
Yeah.
Just mad.
Right.
And just everything I'm doing is out of spite. I hate it and I don't like anything that I'm doing,
Stupid
and I had to
drill,
get
stupid cars, stupid uniforms,
yeah,
stupid hat.
yeah. You wake up every day and you're mad, and you fucking go to work and you come home and you're mad, and it's like that's. I just know I know there's so many people out there suffering through that kind of getting home and still being mad. That's like, you just like, I know what it feels like when you're in the middle of this fucking thing, and this job is you feel like this job is holding everything up. It's like the tent poles basically. Yeah. Like you because I know that I'm gonna dig this picture out, but there was this picture of me having a panic attack and holding my daughter on trick-or-treat night. And like you can see in my face that I'm like not really there, you know, and I'm wearing my work uniform. You can still see me wearing my work shirt and my bibs.
Yeah.
But I'm like holding her on trick or treat, and I'm just like, you know, I look fucking crazy. And it was like that was getting like real near the end. And it was like every day I came home and I had a severe panic attack, and then I went to bed and I got up and I did it again the next day.
Yeah.
And at that time, I know that I felt like if I lose this job, everything's gone.
Sure.
It's all going to go away.